2026 to you, soul fam. I'm personally looking forward to this year, especially as it being the year of the horse. In Chinese astrology, ooh, as a horse myself, can I get an amen from all the other horses out there? Yeehaw, baby, it's our year, let's go. How are you? Tell me, what is it that you want me to know? What's new? What resolutions or plans do you have for 2026? What are you most looking forward to? Let's do our best in the comments to keep it strong with our heads held high. As always, y'all know that I work very honestly, okay, very genuinely. So whatever it is that comes through in these readings for you, soul fam, it's what you're meant to hear, okay? Warnings, truths, accomplishments, we will go through it all, whatever is coming up for you. Thank you, by the way, for starting 2026 off with a Canon Witchery Pick a Card. For those of y'all who may not know, what's up, I am Kat Nicoletta Monroe. I do happen to be a naturally born psychic medium, so I'm really humbled to be able to predict just how this upcoming year will play out for you. We're coming at this with a lot less planning and a lot more channeling. So, soul fam, it's important to keep in mind that this is a general reading for the public, so there will be a lot coming through per pile, which means you are only to take what applies to you, leaving the rest for another, or choose another pile entirely and see if that one holds more resonances than the last. Who really knows? Either way, again, we will dive into everything that you need to hear now, and a full general deep dive into what you can expect in 2026. Each pile will most likely be different. So if you're pulled to more than one pile, that's totally okay too. Take all the information you can get. And if that's still not enough and you want something precise and concise just for you, you can book with me at knmwitchery.com and save 26% off your next reading with me if you book in the month of January 2026 using the code NEW26. Otherwise, babes, it's expired. So you better move quickly. You better move quickly now. Without further ado, soul fam, let's get the messages from your future self channeled through. Trust your intuition and choose the pile or piles as they call to you. Maybe you can't take your eyes off it. Or perhaps you're hearing a number replaying in your mind, or maybe you just know that behind this pile lie the answers and information that you seek. Pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, pile 4. Select your piles now, and I'll see you on the other side. Hello, pile number 1. Let's dive into your 2026 forecast. Remember, soul fam, this reading is powered by spirit and your intuition. So only ever take what is for you and leave the rest for another, okay? If you want something precise and concise just for you, you can only book with me at knmwitchery.com. And if you're tuning in on January 2026, remember to use the code NEW26 at checkout for 26% off any and all of my readings that month. Now, let's see what we have to start off with before we really dive in, shall we? Now, these cards here will confirm if you're in the right pile or not. And you'll know. So trust your powerful intuition, all right? Let's start off with the 10 of Cups. Very beautiful. We have the Page of Coins. Seeker. Counterpoint. Now, these are with 2 females, by the way. There's 3 different counterpoints in this deck. Oh, by the way, all decks I'm using is going to be listed down below for those interested. We have the 9 of Cups and the 2 of Coins. Cancer season might have some significance for you. You may be a Cancer, maybe involved with Cancer, perhaps maybe a Cancer moon. Soul fam, really beautiful. If you are a female tuning in, there is a really beautiful girl power type of vibe. It's like perhaps maybe you and a best friend of yours are going to do something really fulfilling together, whether it be on a business and monetary sense. Perhaps you'll go into business together, or maybe you'll start like a podcast or something. There's a lot of swords in here, okay? That we got wands and we got swords. Some fire, some water. Excuse me, I meant air. But the water, especially because of that crab and these cups here. But there's like, I believe that you may currently be pondering here about how to involve yourself with your community. Whatever community means to you as well. For a lot of y'all, the number 33 just rang through spiritually. It may have something to do with a spiritual community that you yourself are building, or perhaps looking to be a part of. You know, the Soul Fam. Remember to subscribe, by the way, if you haven't already. Tune in. I'd love to have y'all here. Or there's some sort of revolution, an activist group, perhaps. You're fighting for a cause, but you're using your voice to do that. You're using this purpose of, I'm seeing someone and a counterpoint, like a really good friend or something. This can, of course, be someone that you're romantically involved with, but this is feeling very platonic. So if you have the ability to have both romance and platonicism in your relationship, then that's great. It could be involving your romantic partner, but again, I'm really feeling this as like a best friend where two people create. Now you can be two men as well, using that feminine energy of creation, of building upon something that again makes a difference, that speaks to a specific group out there, a niche, if you will. It seems as though something had very recently been identified for you, Soul Fam. Look at that gold. Ah, oh, these cards are absolutely stunning. There's something to be uncovered through the act of doing, of actually venturing off and beginning something brand new. Preferably with someone. I just heard it takes two. It takes two. The Little Mermaid came through, so that might be a little confirmation for whoever needed that. Now the Seeker card is associated with the Hermit. there is a revelation that you've already brought into 2026. If you're still here, you're moving with purpose. You're moving with building a community, if not becoming an intricate component of that, a leader of sorts. But you're making something tangible here. And there are sacrifices that are about to be made here. The 10 of Cups, I believe, is going to be attained. There's this wish fulfillment, this emotional satisfaction, a peace, a complete, well, maybe not complete, because this is the human experience after all, and there's a lot of stuff happening in the world, let's be honest here. And yet, you're able to find a peace of mind, some form of stability where I don't want to say that you're unable to get rocked, but there's this strength, there's this determination factor of you. Your courage is louder than the fear. And that right there, that revelation is what builds and is continuing to build up, especially as you merge with someone that will help build and create this with you. Bring this seed to life. Again, through the act of doing. The Hermit is as within, so without. That introspection, this discovery from 2025 that you've brought into 2026 now allows you to know what strengths you've gained, what flaws were revealed, what changes you wish to inflict and instill. And you don't have all of the answers. We're just the page after all. And yet, the power of friendship prevails. Listen, if you've been thinking you want a friend or something, you've been plotting some form of great business venture, perhaps maybe you should take that shit seriously. Because some form of balance, something is going to grow out of it. Look at that plant growing here. Cancer season might have some form of, I'm hearing like an anniversary or a launch date. I heard viral as well. Some form of popularity, some sort of clarity, some sort of manifestation thereof, but it's tangible. It's proof. It's a payoff, I'm hearing. But it's going to be not so much that it's a surprise, but it's more of an anticipation, an accomplishment. It's like, you know what it feels like to me? Like it's some sort of like an award ceremony and you are a qualifier. You haven't exactly won yet, but you're a contender. So you go there with the anticipation. And it seems as though that that anticipation is a massive payoff. Does that mean that you're going to win the award? Maybe. I don't know why this metaphor is coming through as some form of significance, but y'all tell me. This ain't for me anyways. Shoot, it's for you. But there is some form of like external validation of this internal revelation and community. Is this making sense with y'all? Y'all planting some seeds here and they are multiplying. You're still in the beginning stages here and something needs to be sacrificed here, right? The Nine of Cups is now willing to let something go and or let it come to it very patiently. I just heard very demure. Yikes. I feel like everyone hates that word now, no? I know I cringe when I hear it, but hey, I speak on what comes through after all. And I think that's exactly what you're required and called to do. Speak on what comes through. Use your throat chakra. Your intuition, your breath. I just started tapping my chest, so tapping might have some sort of relevance for you. Lots of you working through your fears of being seen, of being perceived, putting yourself out there, using your voice, speaking out, speaking from the heart authentically, maybe even being kind of crazy about it. I mean, genius is often mistaken as foolish at first, no? And yet here you are, bringing something to the table, and it is in fact going to call in more people for you, soul fam. That is what I'm really sensing here. And perhaps this is the motivation that you need at the point of you tuning in right now, for you to go ahead and actually start making something out of this energy. Whatever it is that you are here to create, do it. Do it, because the thing is though, we're gonna see what else comes through when we do a huge deep dive, okay? Because I got a lot of cards to go through. We're gonna be here for a while. Hope you got a good drink to sip on, you know. Maybe eating some snacks. Let me know what you eating, what you snacking on, what you doing while you're tuning into this reading. Let me know. And if you're driving, please be safe. My goodness. Do not type until you are parked. And definitely drop a like, please, if you've made it this far and this is resonating with you and it's motivating you. Again, there's something, grab your friend and make something out of this. Sacrifice just a little bit of your time. Instead of just kicking back on some Netflix, write out a script or a business plan or a financial plan, or call in and get those favors in, get the ball moving, and start on whatever this is, especially if it brings more people together and it empowers people. Again, I'm sensing a deep sense of community. It could be spiritually based, but it could just be your intuition is leading you towards something. Whatever that something is does not have to just be spiritual, okay? But I do believe that is being spiritually led. Your soul is saying, do this. Even if the outcome, the final outcome may not be 100% what it is that you're expecting it to, but it will open many doors along the way. This is, I'm hearing like a checkpoint. And you gotta use the tools, the resources. It takes two. I think for a long time, Pile One, and perhaps maybe that's still your goal in many ways as well, although you're definitely being called out of that shell this year, ooh, for sure. You've been doing a lot on your own. You've been managing a lot on your own shoulders, feeling as though either it's a perfectionist thing, okay? Maybe you're just like, I'm the only one that knows how to do it and do it right. Or if they do it, I'm just gonna do it anyways, you know? I gotta fix it type shit. But it could very much be you have been forced to handle a lot on your own shoulders, distrusting of how other people could hold your pain, hold your issues. Like, it's like you were always needing to be there for others or be the one to accomplish and do X, Y, Z, because if you don't, it won't get done and such, right? Now you're being called to bring someone in with you, to take some of that load off, to find friendship in your growth, in whatever journey and project or business plan or whatever this might be. Either way, it is very emotionally fulfilling, but it's going to, again, be very profitable and worth your time, love, blood, sweat, and tears and attention into, because on the physical, it is going to call in people. Like, you got people waiting for what you've got to put out there, you and friend. So this year is going to likely be a bit of a challenge for you to let go of those reins a little bit, to let another, to find balance and trust in your creation. Not everyone's going to let you down. And again, even if you do get let down, because we have to leave room for all sorts of possibilities, yeah? You're still going to have doors open up for you. So there has got to be less of a question of what and how it's all going to work out, and just a matter of talking yourself into just doing it anyways, because even if it quote unquote doesn't work out, it inevitably does simultaneously. It's just in ways that are completely unexpected, but it will be worth it. I don't know. Is this making sense to y'all? Hopefully. But that emotional fulfillment, by the way, that's contingent on choice, right? We got to choose to plant the seeds. We got to be the one to water it. We got to be the one to grow it, you know? So it's a choice, but it is one that you are really being urged to take and trust, and especially if it means you get to do it with a friend, whomever that may be. I think that sounds really worthwhile, yeah? Okay, so hopefully that was a long enough type of confirmation. I don't know if this is... There are 2 decks mixed in, so we got a lot of potentials of what's going to take place here in your reading. So fam, this is going to be very random, and yet it could be pertinent to you, to your energy, to lessons that you are to learn in 2026, to experiences that you are given a little bit of like a heads up on, right? Like, I am keeping my spirit, my heart, my channel open to everything that is, of course, to your highest good, things that you need to know that will help propel you forward. And yet it's going to be whatever it needs to be, okay? So I'm just going to start. Boom. Whoa. I just heard the song Explosions by, I don't know, but I just hear explosions. My voice lost itself. I had such sinus issues the last few days. Ugh. How are y'all feeling? Ooh, did you spot that? Something here is not like the other. Where are you? Ooh, okay. Divine timing. You guys can 2x this or fast forward if you want to skip through the shuffling process. We got wedding rings on the table. I wonder why Spirit's telling me to keep those 2 reversed for now. We got third party on the table with proposal. What's happening? Hold on. I'm just going to see what else got to come out, and we're going to... This card really wanted to. Whatever's on the bottom here does. Yes? No. Okay. Boom. All right. So, what... I'm hearing weight on this. I don't know what that's about, but let's see what we first got. So we have mask, hiding true feelings, pretending and delude, gaslight and personified. We have divine timing, believe in right timing, wedding rings, union and marriage, soul connection, everlasting love, devotion, third party interference, commitment here with proposal. We have silence and no contact with 2 other cards, and I'm also holding these 2, and they are Gambling, taking a chance, and mind on the money, finances. We're going to start off with these real quick here, all right? And this is again to highlight the most previous messages here that we were talking about of you pushing forward, okay, and taking a chance. I think that honestly, underlining a lot of some other, I don't know, like tea that we're going to be sipping on back here, okay? Because you got some like background drama going on. It's a little bit of a soap opera action here, but underneath all of that, potential relationship qualms, you're being pushed to move towards whatever plans you have with that business, with that union, okay, with that sort of like devotion towards a craft, towards community, that is being very highlighted. So the gamble here is you taking a chance and you pushing forward. Okay, money on your minds. Push forward. Now, when it comes to what is going on here, y'all. Okay, so I'm going to put this out here. No, you're not going to get divorced. Some of y'all could be very newly married, by the way. Or be just recently proposed to, or are going to be married in 2026. So you're already kind of in that process. It seems as though, oh, my throat chakra just kind of like cracked on this at some point this year, okay? And a wedding might have something to do with it, whether it's yours or a friend's or something. I don't know, some sort of gathering, some sort of, you know, someone unexpected, most likely from the past, could very well come into either you and or your partner. If you're in a commitment, if you're single, then obviously this can still apply with you, but without a partner. Someone from the past is going to expose their feelings for you. And it just might interfere with whatever it is that you've got going on. That third party, if you are single, by the way, and you're planning to be single and you're like, hella, just single. Maybe you are part of that percentage of people who are in fact going to get divorced, okay? Because just because I said there's no divorce earlier doesn't mean that that's realistic to absolutely everybody here, okay? So again, take what resonates for you personally here, soul fam, but it very well might be that third party is your business plan and such, right? Like you've got a whole ass life, you got a whole project, you got a whole plan, you've got, you know, maybe you're bettering yourself. Maybe that union with that other person is you bringing in like a coach or like a mentor or something. You know what I mean? Something that helps build you up physically, financially. However, by the way, check out kniwintry.com if you're interested in any sort of intuitive coaching. I am certified in hypnotherapy and neurolinguistic programming, and it's just, I love everything that I do, but in any case, my consultations are free, so y'all can book with me and we can chit chat from there, get to know each other and see if we're a good fit. But nevertheless, right, that third party could be whatever it is that you got going on in your life or / whoever. And in that process, someone's going to come in and interfere with that. Now, for some of y'all, because this mask energy here, no bueno for me, okay? I don't know. There's something about it. It's like you're not really going to be fully trusting of it, but they just might use but it's divine timing. This is meant to be. Like, I feel like this person's kind of trying to push a poetic, I just heard poetic justice, but like a poetic narrative of like, we're meant to be. It's giving... I don't really want to use psychological mumbo jumbo on this because I feel that people like misuse the phrases of gaslighting and love bombing and such like that. This could be a case like that, but it's just, I don't know, just be a little bit mindful of someone maybe like overcompensating about this potential like reunion and such, like this interference in your plans and your goals and your relationship, however it applies to you personally. Approach it cautiously, okay? Because it just might be selling the present moment versus actually taking accountability for something in the past. And or someone is taking accountability from the past and suddenly exposing, like, I wouldn't even be surprised if you're getting married and like someone from the past like opens it up like a freaking like old school rom-com and they're like, I object, right? And then they run down the aisle and they take your hand and then just like, you just, I don't know, run out on a motorcycle with them and you live your like crazy fantasy or some shit. Where did that go? You know, someone's, I don't know, crazy things have happened. I feel like something is just going to come through that is just going to rock your worlds. And you are going to feel uncomfortable about it. Lean into that discomfort with discernment. Okay, learn if it's something you should actually fear. Learn if it's something that you're self-sabotaging. Learn if it is, in fact, someone maybe manipulating you or, you know, like get the facts in, right? Don't fall for beautiful words. Fall for actions. Fall for consistency, right? Could very well be that you guys are getting married / proposed to this year for anyone who's interested in that. And again, remember, this is all just for funds. If you want something precise and concise, CanonWitchery.com. Let's pull what this is. We have Sword and Rose. Clarity and truth, revelations, honor and protection, determination. So fam, the Sword and the Rose, yeah. If you are thinking about starting a podcast, I don't know, that's really big here. Especially with a friend or something, there's something that you got to say. Maybe you're writing something. This could be writing as well. There's some form of communication, maybe singing, maybe it's music. Like there's so many forms of communicating a message. Poetry. I don't know. My nose is itching though. There's something that you got to communicate here. You got to put it out, soul fam. That's really important here. What else do we have? Healing heart. Beautiful. Healing heartbreak, toxicity or addiction, abusive relationship. Okay, so here's the thing, right? In moving through 2026, following your heart, creating whatever is to be created for you personally, just keep in mind, again, this is a general reading. It's almost as if pieces of your past are going to come on in to kind of swindle you and anchor you right back down. That is occurring because when we are changing quote unquote timelines, or we're doing quantum leaps, or we're changing and switching up our reality, right? When we make choices and those choices are met by consistent action, change begins to occur. We inflict that change. We literally start wiring the gravity of the situation. We forge a completely different path. In doing so, aspects of that past reality, which are still in the present moment, want to keep us clung because, especially when it comes to psychology, we must go through change swiftly, and yet you got to decide to change. Because there's a lot of mindset work that y'all are going to be undergoing this year. There's almost like a certainty. Because the mind will trick you into old habits, old routines, old addictions, old patterns. Okay? Once again, Spirit is coming through to keep following your heart. And whatever it is that you got to put out there, by the way, okay, is going to heal you in the process. And I believe, especially because there's like a bunch of hearts in this little bucket and such, right? I think that this is like you collecting hearts. And I mean that in a community kind of a way. Like you're getting, maybe you're getting likes or something. Like The more you put yourself out there, the more you choose to show up and speak out about whatever it is that you're being called to speak out about, the more the right people will hear you, the more the right people will come in to hear, to contribute, to be a part of, to heal you, to help each other rise, to protect. And it kind of helps to cancel out the toxicity that will inevitably come, right? Because this sort of light is like a moth to a flame. So yes, someone's going to come. You got to just use your discernment. I did hear that this could potentially also be a family member. Okay, so take that as it resonates to whomever. Someone needed a confirmation in here. So no, it does not always just have to be romantic. The third party could absolutely have some sort of family tie to it here as well. My nose itched on that, so at least one person out there resonated with that. Now let's look into what this no contact and silence here is. I am sensing, before I peek into what that's about, there's some sort of, I'm hearing like a solo vacation, and or if this is a retreat that involves other people, you will have these moments of silence. I heard just me. I don't know. I feel like even if you go with a group of people, there's going to be a moment within there that you take to yourself. And I see you surrounded by nature. I'm just hearing birds and the slish, sloshing, blushing of like a lake or a large body of water. Not necessarily an ocean or a sea, although of course take it as applies. But there's just peace. I don't think that this no contact talks about separation. I genuinely think this talks about peace. There's something that you are building, Soul Fam, that will have you stand there in your excellence and be like, oh my God, like I did this. I made it. There's maybe Cancer season, maybe summertime has something to do with it. There's something that you are going to find this beauty and pride in yourself. You're just grounded in your own moment here. And it's just you. It's like your own peaceful, personal validation. Everything else is just extra. And see, I personally, if I may, relate to this here. Because as I opened up publicly about all of these quirks and abilities of mine that I've had since I was a child and was always misunderstood for and such and judged for, the more that I spoke out about it, the more that I connected with the Soul Fam, the more complete I felt myself. And that self-completion allowed me to welcome in so much love and appreciation from my community that I've been building myself. Like, I'm honored. I really am. By those who've tuned in throughout the years that I've been out here, and I still kind of reserve myself. I'm going through a lot of my own hermit phases here, but if you relate to this, this is a year now where we walk out of that hermit. So take my hand, we'll do it together. But either way, there will be a moment where you're like, damn, like, I did it, and it's just going to be you and this world, and you're going to find contentment in that. You're going to find the hope that is fleeting right now. Mother Earth is calling out to her children. And in all of that, you're still able to find peace. And I just heard it takes two again. So what are these about? We have picture and we have social media. So in some cases, I retract my previous statement, although I don't. Exactly. I do still believe that there is going to be some form of personal satisfaction and emotional fulfillment, okay? That's going to come out of this year at some point. Again, summertime might have something to do with it. Perhaps maybe October. Just that 10 is sticking out to me, so the month of October. And yet, it could be that you may very well be blocking a bunch of people, okay? I can understand why there might be some hesitation of you perhaps finding some sort of like a business partner or someone that you want to connect with, whether again it's a mentor, maybe it's like an editor, maybe it's a producer, someone, maybe it's literally like a co-founder or someone that takes some, I don't know, something off your shoulders. You combine forces, however it is that this applies to you. You find hesitation in that because, again, you're used to working on your own, trusting yourself, because you've been proven time and time again in your past, cancel, that other people can't be trusted. Whatever and however it is that applies, whether it's through deceit, betrayal, laziness, the causes and reasons will vary per person in here. I don't want to resonate on that. What I do want to say is take the lessons that you've learned from that discernment, right? Where you will know if someone is being deceitful. If someone is saying, oh, I can be the answer to your prayers here, okay? If you know that it does not align, that it is a interference to whatever it is that you are working towards. And again, this proposal, this union, it could be professional, it could be literal, it could be both. Everyone varies in here. It's going to be really profitable though. And you got to trust your own discernment, soul fam, in choosing the right person to combine these forces with. Because not everyone's going to let you down, okay? And you know. You'll know. Everyone else you will block away, okay? I feel like that's the most important thing here. You've worked enough on yourself, soul fam, in 2025, and I could feel that energetically. I could relate to it in a lot of senses too. You've done that self work enough to uphold your boundaries, to know your worth, to know what you quote unquote bring to the table, to know what it is that you're willing to friggin' accept from others. Okay? You will know. And you will then choose to most likely block somebody. Okay? You will block all of the right people. It's important never to block your own abundance and your own successes, though. So again, there's a message here of self-sabotage. It will take another person to help bring you up, to go up with you. And it's going to be fun, and it's going to be secure, and it's going to be happy, and it's going to be stable. It's going to be fulfilling in whichever way. And I hope this for you tenfold. That you accomplish everything that you desire, pile one. Yes. Be here celebrating and clapping with you. Please let me know if this reading applies and resonates with you later on. Just have full faith and trust in yourself, soul fam, because you doubt yourself. I believe that's a lot of the case here too. There's no need to. You're going to do right by you. And you're going to uphold your boundaries because you've done that work. Again, you're good by yourself. You know your worth. Once you have that self-validation and love and trust, no one and nothing else can rock you. So you will get blocked, okay? I think that this block, maybe you might lose a friend, to be honest. Unfortunately, I gotta say that. But you're gonna gain another one. And you're gonna gain many more, okay? So this is what I was saying, sort of, because there's a bunch of different examples and ways that it could go, but it's like you sacrifice something, okay? Maybe you gotta let a friend go in order to then gain your 10 of Cups, you know? But it's all working out for you. I'm going to pull maybe 2 to 3 more cards from the original tarot. Get some final words of wisdom, of messages, whatever it is that Spirit wants to deliver for you and your 2026. Remember, Soul Fam, you are more than welcome to check out any other piles. There's going to be mixed messages in all of them, I'm sure. I heard nope. Okay. So there's 2 of Swords on the table right now. We got the Tower. And my throat is really like I want to cough. And we have the 9 of Coins. Okay. We have the Knight of Pentacles on the bottom here. I'm going to kind of include them, kind of not. Okay. Soul Fam. The Tower card will occur, more likely, should you choose to distrust yourself, stay closed off, not take the chance, perhaps maybe welcome in the wrong people. If you give the wrong people the right chances, then prepare for some form of Tower moment. Now, that doesn't always necessarily have to be a bad thing. And this is kind of what I was alluding to before, where it doesn't matter how it's going to work out. Because even if it's perceivably not going to work out and something fails, a partnership fails, or maybe the podcast sucks, or maybe, I don't know, the other person has something going on and you got to find somebody else instead to replace them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the possibility is endless. Just starting it, just doing it is still going to have everything kind of rebuild itself. Tower cards are good. I love the Tower energy. Yes, it all kind of crumbles, but it has the ability to start fresh, to build a more sturdy foundation, to go up from there. And the Tower card, by the way, is a revelation. You got to put that shit out there, okay? Now, if you don't, the harder you'll fall, right? If you do, then you're already going to be outside and everything's going to crumble anyways, but you're not going to be falling out. You're just going to be kind of watching it all fall. Does that make sense to you? It's almost like there is a deep change that you are undergoing here. And with that change will come a brand new, fresh, clean slate that will bring in abundance and stability and a union, perhaps literally marriage. Okay, either way it's happening for you, but how it is that you get there can be easier when you choose to use your voice, when you choose to trust in yourself, when you choose to stop thinking you have to do it all yourself. When you can invite somebody else in to take in some of that load so you can have more time, more energy, more exertion, more to give towards what it is that you love, towards this purpose, towards this community that you're building. Because here's that other outcome, right? The Tower will fall regardless, and yet you're going to be just chilling. It's almost like, okay, this is a horrible example, but work with me on this, okay? It's almost like anticipating a storm that's going to wipe out an area. That area perhaps could be a foundation that you've been building, right? Sticking to a more metaphor thing. But you've left before that storm hit, before this hurricane hit, before everything, you left. You witnessed the storm from afar, but you were safe. Either way, it crumbled. The difference is you were either there or you were safely away. Either way, you are going to rebuild. Invite somebody in to help. In that process, you will let somebody go, but you are going to welcome in so much more. Let me know, Soul Fam, how it is that this resonates, okay? I do hope that reoccurring message really kind of sinks in and you choose to devote yourself towards your purpose, towards your passion, towards everything that you have found so profound in your growth in the last few years, especially 2025. Something over here woke up within you, especially towards the end of 2025 there. Bring that into this year. Bring it forward. Become the change that you wish to see in the world. Know that anything else that happens in the background, whatever it may be, okay, you're going to use your discernment. You're going to keep yourself safe and protected. And even if it crumbles and it hurts, it's still going to work out for you. There's literally not a bad step that you can take, Soul Fam. Some things are just meant to friggin' happen and occur for you. All you got to do is choose to show up and take it. Everything else will abundantly flow. You're going to be more pleasantly surprised than you've ever known yourself to be. And with that, I do hope that you're going to take me along the ride. Save this video, come back to it. Let me know what has come to light, what hasn't, what you're still waiting on. Let me know if there's perhaps maybe another pile that you're coming from as well, or maybe you're pulled to another pile. If so, I will see you there. Either way, Soul Fam, I do hope you subscribe. Join the tribe since we're looking for a community. Let's be in one together. I would be honored to have you here. Have a beautiful 2026. Remember to book with me at knmwitchery.com. And that discount in January 2026, new 26 is the code. Save some moolah, get some more clarity. I'll catch y'all on the flip side, all right? Love you much. Peace. Hello, what's up? What it do? Pile number 2. Let's dive into your 2026 forecast. Now remember, before we dive in, this reading is powered by spirit and your intuition. So only take what's for you. Leave the rest for another. This pile right here will confirm whether or not this is your reading. So you gotta just trust your powerful intuition, all right? Because you'll know. You'll know. Now, if you want something beyond this pick a card today, you could only book with me at knmwitchery.com for something precise and concise just for you. Now remember, by the way, if you are tuning in January of 2026, there's a month-long discount that I've got poppin', new 26 at checkout on any of my readings. For this discount to apply, you'll catch yourself some proper savings for the start of the new year. All right, now let's dive in and see what it is that we've got to start off with before we really dive in, because pile 1 was random as heck at some points, and I'm expecting something very similar here too. Now, before we dive in, again, sorry, but like this is the reading now. Angel numbers. I'm talking 111, 1010, 222, like all of that, like from 1 to infinity and beyond. Buzz Lightyear. That has something to do with y'all, okay? I think you guys are like maybe waking up to another level, right? Like there are many ascensions that occur within spirituality. It's not just one and done, you know? So anyways, let's dive in and see what this is really about. Starting off with the 4 of Cups. I like that. These are little fish. Little fishies. Cute. Speaking of fish, Pisces might have something to do with someone here. We got the 2 of Cups. We have the Death card. Don't wince too hard. The Death can mean many things. It is a transmutation of energy only, ever, really. We got Fighter, which is the Empress, I believe. Oh, I am obsessed with this deck, honestly. We have the Knight of Swords. So beautiful. And we have the Page of Cups. Definitely some form of spiritual embodiment, spiritual ascension here. Waking up to your clear cognizance, perhaps, with this Knight of Swords energy here. A full-on embodiment of yourself. You had undergone something in 2025. I believe it could have been a breakup. It could have just been, maybe you've been like single for like a while, but there's something about 2025 that, you know, you kind of have like an ego death, I want to say, you know, and that is a complete transmutation of perception. If perception is our reality, pile 2, then how it is that we perceive any sort of experience through the lens of our previous values, beliefs, how it is that we were raised, right, conditioned, etc. If we start to alter that, then we start gaining empathy where we once never had any. We start seeing things from other people's perspectives where, well, we completely neglected last time. And then suddenly our reaction to the overall situation kind of lightens up too. And now we're not really as angry anymore. Or maybe the reverse is true. Maybe we're even more pissed off, right? Perception gets altered. Reality is altered. And in 2025, I believe maybe something had crashed out in your life. Something forced something or someone to go, to change. There must have been some form of internal shift. Maybe it's just as simple as that. Maybe it's not something that has manifested into the physical reality yet. Maybe it is a deep realization, like a healing. There's some level ups that can only be felt and experienced. They can't always be seen. People see the end product, and yet they don't see the blood, sweat, and tears that it took to go into this final product. You're still in the making of, and yet I'm really sensing you taking your power back. If this has anything to do with a breakup, which I strongly believe is the case for a lot of y'all in here, keep tuning in even if it's not. Okay, this is just one of the waves that we're riding here, but nevertheless, perhaps that was even like a best friend, like a breakup in that regard too. It doesn't always have to be romantic. Platonic breakups hurt too. Maybe it was family. Maybe, again, it was an aspect of yourself. Maybe it was an entire place and environment. I moved continents. Like, that rocked my world. It shook my entire reality, right? Like, whatever it was for you, it's gained a new perspective on self-love, who and what it is that you want to attract. And moreover, you're more willing to fight for your rights. The Empress is the embodiment of all of the queens in tarot. She is essentially the final form, if you will. With this embodiment, sometimes people mistaken feminine energy as soft, but where there is softness, there is also a storm. And again, people only see what they're programmed to see. They don't see the blood, sweat, and tears that it took for you to become who you are and continue to become. And now you're learning how to power that out in the external. In 2026, you are newly manifesting the quote-unquote path that you are on. Now, in my career, I often get asked, am I on the right path? Many of my clients ask this question, and to which I always respond, there's only one path. Matter of fact, eventually you get rid of the path overall. But what this metaphorical path is, every brick that lays in front of the other is a decision that we make that shifts us forward. Every brick is a decision, it's a choice, it's an action step. We lay the path that we're on with every decision that we make. There are certain aspects of our existence that are likely more fated than others, like death, for example. There are certain things we cannot run in this human experience, right? And we can use this knowledge to our betterment. I don't want to put this out there, but I am an honest reader. So it is with a hopefully false prediction here. There may be a death or two that you would experience in 2026, okay? That could be part of this catalyzation towards your becoming, towards viewing life differently, towards your spirituality, towards your abilities to communicate with spirit here as well. There's something here also with the Knight of Swords. The more that I look at it, the more that I'm getting communication with the beyond. It's mediumship, essentially. There's a power here with your personal ascension and understanding of yourself, which is peeling back the onion layers to yourself. The more that you heal, the more that you root yourself. And the more you root yourself, the higher your branches go. It is as above, so below, yes? And so you continue to grow. And with that, sometimes tragedies occur to get us there. Now, that statement, as much as, again, I don't wish it upon anyone. I'm reading the energies as they come. So remember, this is a general reading. This is not personal. Please book with me at knwitchery.com if you do want something precise and concise. I do also offer mediumship as well. So if you are interested in such services, again, check out knwitchery.com. Use the code NEW26 if you're tuning in January 2026. All right, back to this, soul fam. I don't know, I feel like y'all just got like the wind knocked out of you for show. Feel like 2026 is going to be quite a catalyst year for you. This death news could be literal. It could be in the news. It could be yet more ego deaths. It could be, unfortunately, like pets, ideologies. We could put death to an ideologies, different relationships, endings. I know that you had already undergone so much already, pile 2, and it's just like, how much more can I possibly lose? But you actually have that much more to gain, especially if it means letting go people who are quite toxic to you. You know? Like it's okay to let go if you can grow, and from that growth, gain more. It's like you're building your own type of family, your own type of community, your own type of, I don't know, something here. You're manifesting who comes at you, and you're somehow aligning very beautifully with the right people. Or so I'm seeing here for you. So that's pretty fun. Is there anything else that I'm picking up from here? I heard nope, and nothing else is coming through. Okay, so let's move on to part 2 of this reading. Now, all of the decks that I'm using, by the way, I'm going to list down below. So for my curious kittens, don't worry, I got you. I'm going to pull from this mini yet massive, I mashed up 2 different oracle decks. So we're going to see whatever comes up, okay? I am tapping in with an open heart for y'all to receive whatever it is that y'all need to receive, no matter how random. Again, remember, soul fam, only take what is for you. Okay, general readings. I cannot stress that enough. It's just easy to get lost in these readings, you know? There's no judgments or anything when I say these things. I just never want to contribute to any sort of untruths, you know, especially because there's no way to... Anyways, I digress. Self-indulgence just popped out here. We got self-worth and value, time to heal, shadow work, self-appreciation. I mean, you can't lie about these things, you know? Like the cards, the energy speaks for itself. All of these cards right here, y'all see me shuffling. Y'all hear me blabbing away. You've transformed so much. There's more layers to this transformation that you have undergone and will continue to. You've asked for more clarity in your life. Now, this is, I feel like 2026 for you, Pile 2, is an alchemization and catalyzation of... I'm hearing all of the elements. Like, I feel like you're literally embodying your Empress energy. It could be Emperor too, by the way. Take whatever applies, how it applies. But you're finding balance in your mental body, your emotional body, your physical body, your spiritual body. There's this lesson after lesson, peeling back the onion layers to yourself, to your core, grace, love. I'm seeing someone hugging themselves. Like, y'all have been doing the work. If you're still here, by the way, please like this video. Because you're... Can we talk? I'll clean this up in a hot second, all right? Pile 2, I see you. The work that you do that nobody else notices. I see you because it takes one to know one. You underestimate sometimes your impact. Pile 2. Your existence is worthwhile. The pain, trauma, turmoil, exhaustion that you had undergone is for a cause and reason. And I know, like, that sort of shit we hate hearing. Because what is the reason? You just want to be cut a break. And you are. Even though there was some heaviness so far predicted in your reading, you got this fighter energy within you that has the ability to alchemize anything and anyone, any sort of ending into a brand new beginning. And that's what the Death card really represents. It's like a continuation. It's a transmutation. Nothing never ever really actually dies. It changes form. You're changing form. And with that, you're changing so many other people around you just by existing. This year will help you bring more of that. So be open to, quote unquote, spoiling yourself a little bit more. Be open to taking more time to yourself, setting more boundaries that has you just lay out and slow down. It's okay to do that. It's actually a really important part of healing. Slowing down, loving yourself. And you've done a great job on that. I just mean, like, spoil yourself and, like, give yourself more reason to live that has less to do with you doing and giving more to others, but rather just yourself. Be selfish and know that it's okay, because your version of selfish is not truly the definition of selfish. You just gotta love on yourself some more, Pile 2. is you're never as alone as you feel. And you've got an entire spirit team behind you, beside you, around you, below you, above you, in front of you, guiding you, behind you, protecting you. So the amount of loss that you have incurred, and as predicted in this very general, not personal reading, could potentially continue to experience. Cancel, cancel, cancel. It's all to help you into your greatness. For you to empower and embody more of that greatness. And thus motivate others into their own greatness too. And thus it continues, the cycle, you see. Whatever is catalyzing you and has catalyzed you will continue to catalyze others through your ability to be able to overcome. You don't like to be called strong because it's like, what other fucking choice have I had? You know what I'm saying? I know, I get it, I'm there too. And yet, strong is who you are, how to. So let's stop fighting that and start embodying instead, knowing that you can overcome anything. And it only expands your ability to hold more love, hold more spirit, hold more healing, hold more magic, hold more intuition, hold more everything that you may want. And I can feel a lot of kind-hearted, beautiful souls in here, so I know that this message is being received by some really beautiful, pure souls. I see you guys. I do. Soul fam, please drop a like, say hello. I'd love to meet more of y'all. Subscribe if you hadn't already. Without further ado, let's continue to dive in. What else do we have? I'm hearing one more, and then we may shuffle in some more later. I'm doing this intuitively, guys, so like some decks have more cards, less cards. I don't know. I just work here. All right, we have lies, keeping secrets. It did come in reverse though, so I want to honor that. I want to honor the in reverse part. Let's see what else we got. Ooh, we have magnetic attraction with passion. Okay. Unhealthy attachment and addiction. Okay. Sabotage and rebuild. Persistent working on it. Repairing with hammer. Okay, that card fell. And we have the dragonfly. Lighthearted and adapt. Finding out and change. Things coming to light and heal. Sorry, some of these words are a little bit difficult to read, just the font styles. Anyways, lies in reverse. Magnetic attraction as well as unhealthy attachment here, okay? So fam, remember the lessons within love. Whatever had come to an end in the past, okay? Use your discernment. That's never to say that whatever comes from the past can never be revisited again and people can't change and all of that. They can change. I know people can change because I have changed. I know people change because you have changed, group 2. You know that it is possible, and yet it is very important to use our discernment to not let potential and our perception be the thing that jades us from the truth. Remember, you have now gained a completely new perspective on life, on who you are, on your values, on who it is that you are attracting. Okay? So now, you are going to start seeing the truth, the clarity of the situation, of your experiences, of the people that you encounter is what's going to magnify. So pay attention to your gut feeling, pay attention to your claircognizance, your clairvoyance, your clairsentience, whatever it is that you are sensing, hearing, seeing, whatever, however your intuition speaks to you. Use the information to your advantage to ensure that you are taking action steps and building that brick by brick path, the metaphorical path that everyone wants to know that they're on properly. You're doing that by choosing the right types of partners. Not necessarily those who used to feed an addiction, a loop, a false perception. I just heard family. Perhaps in the recent years, however long, you've been welcoming in new perspectives on family, on healing that family, therapy, of all varieties in here. You don't want to attract a mistake, for lack of better words. Sorry, I hesitated saying that because someone needs to hear it, you know, like, and it's okay to operate with a little bit more vigilance if it means making the safer choices. Now, I do want to maybe change the word vigilance to discernment, because discernment also, by the way, isn't necessarily the ability to decipher right from wrong or left from right, or, you know, it's about being able to denote what isn't right about a situation that is perceived as right. It's like you're able to see through the veil people's true intentions. It's like a metaphorical documentary plays out intuitively right before you, and you can see how the situation is going to play out before it does. Welcome to clairvoyance, essentially. Takes one to know one. Again, I'm telling y'all. There is a psychic, spiritual evolution that is taking place with y'all. And I believe it really comes down to and ties down to your relationships. Majority of it's romantic that I'm sensing here, okay? Especially just because you're previous. There was definitely some love situations here that started making you change and choose yourself and all of that, because, yeah, I mean, I sense that. But nevertheless, could be platonic and everything, right? Like, there's a lot of changes, there's a lot of endings, there's a lot of you just constantly bettering yourself. And 2026, if not already, but I feel like 2026 is just going to solidify the following statement even more. And that is to say that you're finally realizing that you were never the problem. Pile 2. You responded the way that you knew how, as you had to survive at the time. It doesn't mean that every single reaction or response was one that you would choose today. We can have remorse for our actions, and yet the reactions and what caused it were never your fault. I think that you've been guilted for a really long time, pile 2, into thinking that you were the problem. 2026 will solidify that you were not. Also, again, with so much love, as I say this, it takes one to know one. There's going to be more healing from things like addictions, okay? If you were once addicted or had a family member, that's the way that I experienced addiction by a loved one. There's going to be some more layers to that healing coming up in 2026 that will help with this rebuild. I have girl with a snake, charmed or use, enable boundaries. Yeah, this is where you begin to take your power back in 2020. I just heard 2025. So 2025 was actually the year of the snake. We're going to touch on the dragonfly in a bit, okay? I didn't forget about that. This is that level of discernment that I'm talking about, okay? If you look closely, you see the eye there. Snakes also are often perceived as something negative, but it is this beautiful rejuvenation, evolution type of energy. In 2025, there was a deep shedding that had taken place. I see y'all. And that is going to come in handy as you enforce more of who it is that you are. I don't want to say that the universe is essentially going to be throwing tests at you, because that's not really what happens, but There are going to be blasts from the past or temptations and such, right? Some of y'all may be religious in here. It's like when the devil comes around just whispering in your ear, trying to tempt you, right? Like, bite the apple or whatever. Sorry, I had to sip. You're going to now know. Because you refuse to be taken advantage of, which is beautiful. That is empowering AF. Go forward. We have playa, strategic. Yeah, the playa. No, wait, the used becomes the player. I think that now, because you've evolved, the dragonfly energy here, the dragonfly energy is really interesting, especially since I was talking earlier about perception, right? Excuse me. And the interpretation of like ego deaths as far as your energy in today's reading goes. The dragonfly is born in water. So until it is ready to fly, it knows water, life underwater. And then there is an entire world outside of that little puddle or whatever thing that they're in. They fly out, there's an entire world for them to explore, vast fields. And another fun fact about dragonflies is they become one of the best hunters. Many flies are afraid of the dragonfly because they catch their prey, I think like 90-something% of the time. I don't know about like the specific statistic, but I do know it's up there. They got a really high success rate in catching their prey. That's why, by the way, as a hiker, or if y'all are like fishermen or like whatever, okay, wearing clips with butterfly, dragonflies on them. I got them somewhere. I don't know. I would show you if I knew where they were at the moment. But anyways, they're these dragonfly clips that you wear. And the majority of the flies like leave you alone because they see a dragonfly and they're like, oh, hell nah. So me as a hiker, I love it because I absolutely hate all of the bugs. I scream. I'm one of those like, ugh. I'm in their home, but it's also like, go away, you know? Anyways. You become, let me just wrap it back around to my point there since I digressed. The dragonfly again becomes that hunter, right? It's not something that you perhaps maybe even expect too. Like it was a surprise to me. I can only speak for myself, but did you know that the dragonflies are like one of the best hunters? That they are one of the most feared? Like, because it blew my mind. And that's how you, pile 2, suddenly become the one that sees it all, that can't really be played. It's, I like this because, you know, well, I'm a Libra myself. I was born under an Aries full moon as well, so that Libra shines on my Aries moon on full blast, and it really kind of brings out the devil's advocate in me. So sometimes, like, I notice when someone's, let's say, trying to manipulate me or they're lying to me or something, but I play along with it as if I don't know, but it's like I'm 3 steps ahead, you know, and I'm sharing this because I believe that is exactly how the story is going to persistently go for you. You are going to be like, what are those things called? A lie detector. You're going to be a walking lie detector test. We've got healthy choices here, self-love and self-care, being happier, love, and life. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Healthier choices. We got some really delicious like yogurts, and I think these are frozen fruits. I don't know, but that looks scrumptious if I do say so myself. And this is what I meant earlier about those internal changes now becoming external changes. Slowly but surely, they're becoming more physical. Now, all of the healing that you had done on yourself, soul fam, is now going to begin to change your habits. Because eventually you start seeing, again, you perceive life differently. You perceive food differently. Now it's becoming more as a fuel. Now you want to better your body. And with that newfound knowledge, you begin to eat differently. You begin to cater to yourself differently. Now you physically begin to change. You drop fat, you gain muscle. There's more youth, there's a sparkle, there's a skip, so you step. There's that rejuvenation energy. There's a transmutation that is taking place. And I gotta say this, I'm curious what the tarot's gonna say, because I'm gonna pull some more tarot after this too. We got a while, so hopefully y'all be sipping on something good, maybe snacking on something. What are y'all snacking on? What do you do when you tune into these readings? Let me know. You know, on my Patreon, people tune in a multitude of ways. While working out, while driving. Let me know. But of course, if you're driving, please swerve, park first before you type. Be safe. You heard? Okay. And be safe you shall, because you're now using your discernment. I had something else to say. Right. With tarot. I think that some people aren't really going to like this transition, so it is something that you got to just watch out for, you know, because it just might make people kind of step up to the challenge a little bit more, to challenge your new set values and who you are, or maybe they might just be upset, oh, you changed, and you're just like, literally, that's what we're here for. Like, you haven't. Let's see. But no, honestly, Hatu, I do want to say, like, I'm so proud of you. And this is finally that junction, like that year where you start really feeling like all of the years and years and years of effort that you have put into healing, of overcoming, of just trying, whether it's through surviving or, I mean, who knows? Every one of y'all got different stories, and I don't want to open up any old wounds here. But now you get to start living in what makes you really, truly happy. You know, the payoff is here is what I'm saying. Even though there may be some heartache and pain, it's not going to hurt as much because you already know that you can overcome. And for a lot of y'all, you'd already seen that shit coming. And because you're making healthier choices for yourself spiritually, mentally, physically, you're able to reshift and rebalance yourself, recalibrate yourself, regulate yourself much quicker than ever before. So it's like you overcome things with ease. And again, people will continue to underestimate how you've undergone what you've undergone, okay? That is just something that you're also going to have to learn to accept and move on from, how to, okay? Because people are just going to constantly misunderstand. Let it go. Let it go. Just continue being the light that they need, okay? And here's something that I learned too, because I personally hated when people called me strong and all of that, right? And I'm sensing that here with my pal too. So like, again, I feel y'all, I gotcha. It's a damn compliment to hear that shit. It's a damn compliment. I changed my perspective on it. That was an ego death that I had undergone, I think maybe like a couple of years ago, but like, oof. It's a compliment to have people underestimate how much I'd gone through, how much pain, how much I struggle day to day. I got chronic illness and everything. Like, come on, man. Like, people underestimate. And yet that shit's a compliment. Because it shows your stamina, it shows the resilience, it shows the growth. Because once upon a time, it was written all over my face. And now you're becoming a beacon of hope, a beacon of overcoming. Yeah, there's going to be people that don't like that shit. Yeah, there's going to be people who try to challenge it and all of that. And yet the healing that you have done on yourself has one-upped you like never in your life before. And it's really only gonna go up from here. I mean, I love that. Oops. What's this? Him, divine masculine. Ooh. All right, well. could be a man coming in to those who may apply. Ooh, that love card flipped over. There's no way I can. And we have divine feminine coming out here too. Okay. Well, not to feed any delulus here, but anyone who does resonate with the twin flame, soulmates, you know, whatever blah blah categories and titles that y'all want to give the person that you're with, the one or whatever. There's all these names and all of these various different types of interpretations per person of said things, but whatever you deem as your soul frequency match in another could be at least what it is, at the very least, and this is the most realistic channeling on this topic that I can offer. You are deeply manifesting this person. That could very well be. Going back full circle to this Page of Cups energy, you are now in charge of who it is that you are reeling in, and you are manifesting, and you are changing the potion as it goes. You're rewriting the script here. You could be writing out the qualities that you're looking for in a partner, okay? And as you do so, by the way, just as a tip, say you write down 10 qualities or more, whatever, pick a number, but let's just say 10 qualities that you wish for in your perfect mate. And it could be anything. It could be body type, what they do as a career, the types of habits and hobbies, what they love, what, you know, like the good and the bad, write it all. Now, write another list of the type of person that this person would have to be in order for the perfect person of your dreams to fall in love with them. Because those are the habits, perspectives, ways of being, points that you would yourself have to become. Because it's enough, or rather it's not enough to wish upon a star for our perfect mate. We also have to become the equivalent and the frequency match of that divine person. Like, you can be Homer fucking Simpson. I mean, he also got Marge, but anyways, let's just go with this, all right? You could be Homer Simpson, manifesting a superstar, Cindy Crawford, okay? The likelihood of that happening, although never impossible, less likely unless Homer Simpson starts showing up the way that Cindy Crawford would want her perfect match to be. Because it's not enough to just manifest Cindy Crawford. You have to become Mr. Crawford, whoever that may be. I don't know what. Do you understand what I'm saying? Hopefully that makes sense. Because anyways. This is my dumbed down version here of what to do to get your twin flame. Become the best version of yourself. Yes. But I do sense a deep manifestation. And I love that unconditional love is the first statement here. Because unconditional love, by the way, is never a love without boundaries. No, 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 no. But rather the enforcing of boundaries. It is the deconditioning of love as you have been conditioned to know and understand it, which more than likely leads to so much sabotage, so many unhealthy attachment wounds and reactions. Self-sabotage and all. So we start healing ourselves and deconditioning the parts of ourselves that never allowed to be loved, to be cared for. You may have yearned for that love and care, but when you receive it, it scared you because you never knew what true love really is. You have unconditioned yourself from those wounds and continue to. So just be sure that while you're manifesting, you're doing the work that you're hoping someone else would too. I know you are. I see that. I feel that. It's just a reminder for those of y'all to do that too, okay? A higher soulmate requires healthy choices. That's all I'm gonna say on that. Do we have anything else to contribute here? No. Got tarot. All right. There was something specific I wanted to ask the tarot, but I forgot what it was now. So if it comes, it shall. Judgment. Okay, so it came. Love when that happens. Thank you, Spirit. There are going to be people who are judging you, honestly, straight up. I think that there are people whom, number one, are going to be very inspired by you, but very silently so, okay? You may not really, at first at least, but start opening yourself up to that, right? Like when you're manifesting like your perfect mate, for example, be sure to manifest how it is that you have like the community and how people interact with you and all of that too. I personally have programmed out into the universe, and thankfully it comes back full circle beautifully. I want to know, you know, if my predictions, obviously on like a personal level, one-on-ones and stuff, if they had helped, if they were accurate, if you know, and they come back and people talk about their transformations and how I've helped, and I've been blessed so many times with people. I don't know. It surprises me the impact I have on people, but really beautifully so. And I hope that that's something you can experience too. I have a bunch of testimonials on my website if y'all would ever be interested on that. They're video testimonials too from real life people and stuff, so you can get to know the soul fam a little bit more yourself, and maybe learn to open up and ask people for these types of things too, right? Like it took a while for me to ask people for advice, for feedback, for constructive criticism, for compliments, right? And when I would receive the compliments, I would receive them open-heartedly instead of doubtfully, like it's, ooh, they're doing this to gain something, you know, or maybe they're actually just being genuine and complimenting you, cat. You know, it's a matter of y'all really learning your value. There it is. We have the 5 of coins out with the King of coins. 5 signifies change quite often here. We have the 6 of coins in the bottom of the deck there. Beautiful. So, all this to say, your self-worth and value is rising, will continue to rise to one of its highest forms. I believe that that could very well be, you know, the Empress energy, that fighter energy. I don't really feel like looking for that card right now, but y'all feel me. The integration this year, 2026, the year of the horse as well. It is the wood horse, if I'm not mistaken. So that's very much physical energy, okay? Could very well be your physical body. This year is going to be the thing that changes the most with that emotional body. But now you can see it in the physical in the best ways, okay? Your value, the change that you've put in yourself is, well, all I gotta say is enjoy and love yourself some more, because it's really gonna work out, okay? And just trust that the right people will find you. You'll inspire the right people. Hopefully you'll open up to people complimenting you and stuff too, so you don't always just hear the haters and the noise and the blah blah blah, you know what I mean? Like that gets really loud. But I hope the love, the recognition, the affection becomes much louder for you in 2026, pile 2. I really do. I did hear my snaps. Oh, let me know if and how this reading resonated for you, soul fam. I would love to hear from you. Please subscribe. Book with me at canamwitchery.com if you trust my insight and guidance, and I would just love to meet you there too. But otherwise, if I don't see you in another pile, I do hope to see you in another reading, soul fam. Much love. Happy New Year's to you. And I'll connect with you really soon, okay? Thanks so much for listening to the end, pile 2. Peace. Hello. What's up? What it do? Pile number 3. Let's dive into your 2026 forecast. Now, this reading is powered by spirit and your intuition. So only take what's for you, soul fam, okay? And then leave the rest for another. If, of course, you want something precise and concise just for you, you can only book with me at knmwitchery.com. Remember to also use code NEW26 for a discount. That's only valid in January 2026. So move quickly, get some New Year's savings up in here. All right, speaking of New Year's, let's start off with your general portion of this reading, okay? These cards here will confirm whether or not you're in the right pile. So just trust your intuition on this one. You'll already know, okay? I do want to say Happy New Year. Not for the obvious reasons, this is a 2026 forecast, but y'all are my very first Soul Fam reading in 2026. So thank you for sharing this moment with me. That's very exciting. I hope you subscribe and enjoy the content. That energy alone about you, by the way, because when I'm channeling through whatever it is, whether it's in a private reading or a collective message, I take every instance as part of a reading, like a metaphor, if you will. So in your experience, I kept getting blocked up until the second day of January to sit down and read for y'all. I pressed play on 11:11 a.m. This to me, pile 3, speaks on divine timing, but it being done your way for you. You are moving forward into 2026, pile 3, in control of yourself and thus your circumstances. That's not to say that you are in control of everything and however it occurs to you, because we do not have control over everything, but you're walking in with your head held high, ready to conquer, knowing that no matter what, you're going to react appropriately. You're walking in with like a warrior spirit. And that matches really well with the fire horse that we're going to collectively endure in 2026. Now that isn't happening until February, so give yourself some patience also, pile 3, as you are still going through that shed in January and very early February until, of course, the Chinese New Year. Excuse me. Yeah, my throat chakra just gave out on that last statement, so there might be something that you need to say or something. You got to utilize your throat chakra in one form or another, whether this is an internal acceptance and realization, like you tell yourself the thing that you're afraid to hear, and or you finally say the thing that you've been afraid to say. I think there's some pieces here that you still got to close for yourself if you're tuning in January and like the first week of February. Otherwise, I mean, look back. Was I right? Were you holding back? Okay. Let's finally dive into your cards here. Pile 3, we first have the 6 of Wands. So this is already a success card. This is already your mind being on the prize. We have the 10 of Coins. This is amazing. We have the Ace of Cups. Oh, hell yeah. Look how beautiful this deck is, huh? All right, hold on. Let me look at the camera because we got to make sure it's nice for you too. Ooh, we have the Queen of Wands. Powerful creative energy this year. The 4 of Swords, 3 of Cups. Yeah, you're coming in with the anticipation of celebration. I understand your confidence now. I understand when I was tapping into your energy here, pile 3, you are walking into 2026 with your head held that high. For a long time now, you've been working very diligently And you now know what had been missing. The gap between who you are and who you're aspiring to be. That gap has now been identified. Likely in 2025 and of course early 2026. Pre-fire horse, let's say. All you gotta do is put your heart and soul into it. There's something here about identifying your mission. Figure out your why. Why you're showing up. What's your purpose? There's a lot of gatherings that I'm seeing. Whether it be these dolphins / whatever's behind them. I don't think those are dolphins, but we've got butterflies here. We've got all of the the fish here. I think you have to get used to using your voice this year, pile 3. You're being called to step up, okay? If you're going to act confidently, you must also breathe and speak that confidence. You might have some wounding behind your speech, or people deeply misunderstanding you, for example. Like you might have a very obscure mind, one that thinks in metaphors, or, I mean, as a fellow ADHDer myself, you kind of like jump ahead. Like you're already 3 chapters ahead. You're like, get there, you know? But the misunderstanding lies within people still going step by step, but you're already ahead of the game, right? So often in the past, when you would describe certain things, how you're feeling, what you're processing, what you're discovering, what you're understanding, people are twisting. But not anymore. Now you've identified that gap you see. However it is that this resonates for you. This could also be a fear of being perceived. Perhaps maybe confidence isn't so much the matter as it is what's out of your control. And that's how people will react to you. But here's the thing, right? I think for the most part, because there's always going to be some haters, no matter what it is that you do. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. You're going to have a lot of respect and admiration. Now, what you do with that, I do hope that you do soulfully and not egotistically, okay? But I do feel a lot of that soul here, especially with the Queen of Wands. She's radiating that kindness, being represented, of course, by that sunflower. Wherever she goes, she's the sun. The flowers turn to her. You got money on the mind, eyes on the prize. I like my candle just like crackled on that. You're going to obtain a lot. People are going to celebrate you. I just heard wedding as well. So you could be getting engaged, perhaps maybe married. Or there's a wedding that you're attending, that there's some sort of networking that could also occur there. Take this as it applies, okay? We're gonna get into some like really random messages, okay? So come in here with a very open mind, open spirit. And of course, if you want something precise and concise, KNMWitchery.com. Is this resonating so far? Are you liking what you're hearing so far? Is it making you process some information? Let me know. Please, with a comment down below. You could put a little sunflower. if you're coming from pile 3. Because again, I want to take again the delay of this reading into consideration. Everything had to kind of pause and wait for you. That is giving a little bit of like a diva energy. So again, be mindful of the ego as we go into 2026. A lot of what it is that you're going to seek out, Soul Fam, you are going to accomplish steadily. Accolades, accomplishments, admiration. If you got a praise kink, baby, enjoy it. Because you're about to receive, and make sure, again, that we remain as humbled as possible. There's a big message here around how you treat others, especially if it's unintentionally. Because there is some form of a message here around being very mindful of what it is that you say, how you react, because the people around you are going to take that into consideration and mold that into their own transformation. What I mean by that is a lot of people could be coming at you for guidance, for some sort of leadership, even if like, I'm not even talking about it always on a public forum, okay? You could be a teacher at a school, for example, or maybe there is an online group that you host or something, like a Facebook group or something for someone in here. What else am I seeing here? It could again be like social media and stuff, but it could just be that you're a mother and your little butterflies and fish are your children, right? And they're looking up to you and stuff. And you got a lot of eyes on you. So pay attention to your character, to your integrity. And the more that you act out of kindness, not niceness. I'm not telling you to people please here. There's a really big difference here between being nice and being kind. Okay? Hold your boundaries and all of that. Be a queen, all right? Or king, of course, if you are a man tuning in here. Shout out to my brother's girlfriend for getting me that mug. It's so cute. She's not going to see this, but shout out to her anyways. Love you. It's so cute. I like it. It's my morning coffee mug now. And you guys are going to be sitting back and enjoying your coffee. This is like a year where although things are going to speed up for you, Pile 3, you're simultaneously going to know what it means to live a slower life. And I invite you into that. It's something I've been blessed to be able to experience. That comes also through the process of healing. So that 4 of Swords here really speaks on that. Taking time to heal. Slowing down. Smelling the flowers. Being part of the collective. Becoming one of the butterflies. Right? You're not always meant to be in the leadership position, but knowing how to be part of that community, but being one that I think a lot of people are honestly just going to look up to. There's something that you gotta say and speak out on. Pile 3, my goodness, you guys are jacking up my throat chakra on this one. Holy cannoli. But slowing down also comes with the need to minimize shame. Because true healing does require a slower start to your day. To really prioritize yourself. And understand that that's a form of selfishness that is required. It doesn't make you a bad person. Some of y'all in here might have a very shady perception of selfishness. But taking time to yourself, putting your feet up, reading a book for a little bit, or I think that you guys just need to watch more sunsets and sunrises this year, whichever one applies to you the most. I think a lot of y'all could be, I just heard truck drivers. Okay, interesting. Some of y'all could be up really, really early in the morning. And of course, depending on the time of the year, Even if it's not that early, you're still catching a sunrise, right? Good old daylight or whatever savings. But when you do see a sunset and or sunrise, take a moment and take it in. There's some solar messages that you are also to receive as well. I'm not asking you to stare at the sun and burn up your retinas, but sunsets and sunrises are the best time and pretty much the only time that we can and should look at the sun. So admire that and allow it to give you whatever it is that you might need in that moment there too, especially if that is just taking an extra second for yourself. There's something about the sun. Could also mean a lot of travels too. Lots of good times with friends, family. That Three of Cups here is feeling very festive, very relaxing as well. You guys could be going on more vacations than you've planned for this year. I wish that for you. That would be lovely. If you can also fit in a solo trip in there, 10 out of 10 would recommend. Oh my goodness, I am a solar tripper for lifer. What? I love it. Even if I ever get into a relationship in the future, there's at least once a year that I gotta do a solo trip. Hands down, is a must. Is a must. Okay, let's move the coffee over. Let's move her over there too. And let's get y'all whatever it is that you need to hear. Now, these are going to be like miscellaneous messages and all, okay? It might take some curves. It may or may not have anything to do with the intro. We'll see. We will see. Any decks that I'm using are listed down below in case you're interested. I did mash up 2 decks here, so divine timing. Are y'all seeing this? Look at that. Look, you can't fucking make this shit up. I love my job, honestly. What's this one? Oh, we do have heartbreak and shattered. Yeah, see, there is something that needs to be let go of in the very, very early 2026. And my nose itched on that. For those who are new and you're like, who cares? Why are you telling me about your nose itch? My accuracy tends to go up when I'm doing like collective readings and things like that. Not only. We have hammer. We have girl with a snake. Who got this? Pile 2. You might be coming from pile 2. Spoiler if you're not, but maybe there's something in there for you as well. Wow, that was a nice little flip. Interesting. I think you should check out pile 2. There might be something in there for you. Which one? Speak to me. No? Yes? Okay. Aw, love. Okay, well, I'm glad that that one came out. Because it really wanted to, apparently. Something out here. Travel. Beautiful. What's this? New love. Renewed hope. Ooh la la. At the bottom here, we have clock. All right, let's channel through whatever is necessary in here for you. Yeah, okay, look. That beginning of the year blues are high here. I'm going to later on invite some tarot in here as well. Codependent, obsession and restraint, possession and control, emotional block. We do have heartbreak here. There is something that is rattling your heart space, pile 3. Can you at least bust out a journal and write about it? Because that's a form of speech. Just saying. Okay? If there is something that you have to tell someone, but you're afraid to or can't for whatever reason, maybe you're completely blocked and you're like, Kat, I have no way of even doing that. Great. So play a trick on your powerful mind, okay? Because it doesn't really know the difference between present, past, future, fantasy, etc., okay? And this is how we can use it to our advantage. Put up a picture of the person that you need to say whatever you need to say to, okay? I know you at least got one. Don't lie to me, pile 3. Put that up. Maybe in your car or something. Just put your phone up in their picture and just start fucking talking. Just say whatever it is that you need to say. Look at that picture and just let it out. You're more than likely even going to let out more than you would if you actually had that person sitting in front of you. So let it out. With that, there will most likely come an emotional outburst. Good. There's something living within you that's got to go, okay? There's that final shed that we're talking about from the year of the snake, which took place in 2025, which again spills a little bit over into 2026. That addiction here, I believe, is just a cord that you're like linked to and attached to. Okay, it could be a person, it could be limerence, some sort of rumination. It could be a lot of, it could literally be addiction. I mean, you know better than I do. This is, of course, a general reading. But nevertheless, there's something that's been tying you down to something in the past that you are now meant to cut and let go of through communication and maybe like a cry or two. Or like grab a pillow and scream into it. That's one of my favorite things to do. Sometimes that is just necessary. You can also get a boxing bag if you get like angry. You know, safely expel some of that anger. Y'all gotta book with me at knwitchery.com if you want some one-on-one work, by the way, because I specialize in a lot of that. My Chiron is in Cancer, so yeah, when it comes to emotional healing, I got y'all, okay? You're in the right place. Trust. Or don't, and find someone who, you know, works for you. Either way. Let it go, okay? Let it go, because what awaits the rest of year 2026, look how beautiful. We've got renewed hope with new love. We got more love. We got ascension. We've got more divine timing, okay, which is a really great big consideration here. Understand that it's happening through you. That even if some things get delayed, like straight up, this was supposed to go up on January 1st. It was already supposed to be uploaded before then. But see, I don't work with the algorithm. I work with spirit. So sometimes the messages come through in divine timing, and I'm okay with that. You got to learn to be okay with that too. And if you already are, great, then you're already in flow, and you just got to let go of whatever this is all about, okay? Sorry to keep bringing it up, but you got to stop ignoring it, okay? Speaking also of divine timing, there is a great need to practice patience. Again, I'm hearing pile 2. So there might be some messages in there for you, okay? I'm not trying to swindle you to watching another pile, but you should. If this is resonating with you so far, there's something in there for you. Because you got to process, okay? Healing, again, takes time. It's what I was alluding to before in your general reading, where really healing requires slowing down without shame. That's critical here. So your body can do its thing. So you can, it's going to be a very somatic year for you. And what I mean by that is you're going to seriously be feeling it in your body. The good, the bad, the ugly, what you have to let go, what you're experiencing as far as like the happiness and praise and all. Remember, that whole part of your reading is still quite valid. That's the general reading. you're only going to experience more of that. And in order for you to allow more of that in a very humble, spiritual, grateful, like truly abundant way, is to also expand yourself enough to be able to actually hold all of that love and admiration, which would mean that you gotta let go of those limiting beliefs that you aren't enough, or that it's all just gonna be gone one day. There might be some abandonment wounds here. There might be some whatever wounds. I mean, the list goes on. There's a lot of y'all in here. Everyone's programmed differently after all, right? So this takes time. So give yourself that time, even if it means you gotta delay what was already pre-planned and scheduled. Go with the flow, okay? Still show up and do the damn thing. Imagine I gave up and I was like, never mind. I'm just like not even gonna record the last 2 piles because I got another one after y'all. Imagine you would not be listening to this right here and right now, but when you are tuning in is exactly when you were meant to hear it, especially if you're still here. Please like if you haven't already. It helps me out and helps others get this message too. And so as you ascend, as you learn, as you expand, as you transcend, as you move into this new phase and you shine on, you're going to have more and more eyes on you. I want you to be okay with that statement. Now, for a very minute few of you, that could very well be your goal. Some of y'all are chasing fame, for example, some sort of greater scale of an audience. Some of y'all are actually going to be spoken about in closed rooms. So there's going to be a lot of eyes on you, meaning that, say you have a business. Ooh, I'm putting that out there. The best form of client is one who refers you to basically everyone. That word of mouth, that form of trust, love, and again, like spreading the goodness of your name and the abundance and wanting more people to meet you. You're going to have a lot of people looking you up or reaching out to you, or at least even just talking about you. You may not necessarily see it up front so quickly, which again, understand, things take time and things are going to be revealed to you in divine timing, okay? And yet things are going on in the background in the most positive light. The Queen of Wands is adored. She can burn people if she lets the ego get to her, okay? But we already talked about that. You've been building away, chipping away at yourself for a really long time. Again, I'm hearing pile 2. Y'all need to tune into pile 2. There's messages in there that you need to hear. It has been like a karmic loop after loop after loop after loop. You're like, oh my God, when is it finally going to be my turn? When am I going to finally break out of all of this? Allow yourself to be open to experience new things. Travel, okay? That is my most recommended form of ascension. Travel. See the world. Meet new people. Or don't. Sometimes I travel and I don't want to see a single damn person. Except for maybe someone that works at a particular store that I gotta go to. You know? Just give me what I need and get out. But that experience itself in a new place, maybe in a brand new country too, that would be awesome. You open up to allowing yourself to witness just how much work you've done on yourself. Suddenly you're reacting differently. Suddenly you are more confident in foreign countries and finding your way. Problem solving becomes easier. Trusting yourself is a breeze, because what other fucking choice do you have? You can have a meltdown here in the middle of the street in a foreign country, or you can get your shit together, figure it out, and get safely into your Airbnb, wherever it may be. Google Translate that shit. Hell yeah. Use the resources that you have, because you've gained enough wisdom and knowledge. You've enabled enough of your boundaries to be one that is ready to receive goodness, admiration, love, abundance in the highest form. But when we are open and manifesting abundance, which I can sense a lot of y'all are, you could definitely, again, maybe there is a marriage or an engagement here. Maybe you have been manifesting the perfect partner. I just heard they're coming back. Interesting. So maybe you're going to, I don't know, circle back around with somebody. But it's actually going to work out this time or something, because like this feels really good. I don't know. Maybe you'll have another shot at love. It could be someone brand spanking new, because I don't want to feed any Delulus respectfully here. Brand new love, okay? Brand new. But maybe you once held a belief that you will never know love again, because the first love only comes around once. Does it ever hit as intensely, as softly, as kindly? Have you ever experienced it at all? Now you get to have something that you thought you cannot for whatever reason. And it could very well come in form of a connection. If you are not looking for a romantic love, because I'm accounting for all types of energies in here, it could very well be platonic as well. You could gain a best friend this year. That love, that renewed hope, that strong affection could very much be platonic as well. So be open to what's true for you, okay? And who knows, maybe there's going to be a friendship that'll eventually form into some sort of love. I don't know. It's going to take some time, though. It's going to be a slow build, which is really good. Don't trust them love bombs, ladies, okay? Mm-mm. What else? Let's pull some tarot. What else we got for you? Ooh. In reverse. Knight of Cups in reverse? I heard, yeah. What? Oh, don't go into the fire, please. Okay. I just heard that song. Oh my god, what is it? Timberlands? What? I thought I told you. What goes around comes back around. Is that Cry Me a River? Is that the end of Cry Me a River? Anyways, I'm so sorry. I don't know. That's what came up when that card came out, though. Okay. Anywho. Pile 3. Interesting. Do not accept less than you deserve. Because you're going to have many options, many suitors, many points of interest, many offers. Say, again, we're going to roll with a random example that's coming to mind now. Say you've been opening up with your business on social media and you're getting a lot of sponsorships and stuff coming in. It does not mean that you should accept every single sponsorship that comes in. You got to vet this company out. Make sure it aligns with your values. What messages are, take a look at that damn contract, okay? Are they using a bunch of pretty words? Or is it actually profitable for you? Is it worth your time and energy to use your talents and whatever it is that you're being sought out and watched out for, right? Like, is this something that you want to put your name on? Is this out of integrity? You see how it kind of goes in full circle? Like, this is where that message in around ego comes on in, where we could be like, oh my God, I'm being so sought out and like I have all of these sponsorships. But when you work out of integrity and you vet, you realize that there's some companies that you don't want to work for, that there's some things that you don't want to be associated with. And it's not even about other people's perception of you that you're doing it for that reason, but because it's not aligned with your own morals. The Queen of Wands energy, or King, again, of course, if you are a man tuning in or whatever gender you respectfully are, okay? You know what is best for you, what aligns to you, and you can have opportunities that perhaps maybe don't come around as often. They're bigger fish, but they're more committed. They're more secure. They're more aligned with your values. They're the King of Cups versus the Knight of Cups. That's why that Knight of Cups was in reverse. Now, excuse me, expel the negativity. Wow. Now, you can use this towards love as well, for example, right? Not just accepting any man or woman with whatever pretty words that they got to offer you, any empty promises, right? Like, this cup is upside down. It's already spilled out. What do you mean? What do you have to offer me? Ugh, that brutal question. What are you bringing to the table? Shut up. I hate that question. It's so stupid. Anyways. Consider it anyways, right? Consider which cycles are worth repeating or not. Because you're going to have a lot. Right now, you're having this opportunity to choose what you want to manifest more of for yourself. So slow down and think about it. Make sure that what you're putting out, what's going to come around, comes back around beautifully. Karma is a lesson that comes around time and time again in a different form, in a different experience perhaps, and yet the lesson is still the same. It is until we meet that lesson with changed behavior that we obtain some sort of reward before jumping into yet another cycle. Everything is a cycle, everything is a pattern in this human experience. Every thought shapes your reality. You don't have to accept every single invitation just because it's printed with gold foil. Integrity is quiet. It doesn't speak with large neon signs saying, look at me, look at me. It's subtle, and yet it's so bright and so noticeable just on its own that you become the sun just by being you. Authenticity. Exists 4,000 times. Sorry, I had like a brain fart there for a second because I looked over and I got distracted by something. It's 4,000 times greater than love, vibrationally speaking. That was an actual test done by Spain, SPANE, where they measured authenticity as a vibration. Yep, and speaking your truth, by the way, is the biggest contributor to authenticity. So whatever it is that you got to acknowledge within yourself for another, whatever you got to put out there, soul fam, speak on that. Use that voice, okay? Because it's going to bring in a lot of these opportunities from which you get to choose from. So there's a message here: choose wisely, take your time. Sometimes the slower build is the better way to go. It's more stable and all, okay? With the Temperance and the High Priestess here, big, big energy on trusting your intuition. Okay. You are powerful. You got so much success, love, happiness coming your way. I mean, enjoy it. Take time to yourself. Be really, truly grateful for where you're at, because you're going to continue to expand on that. So with that expansion, remember that requires some sort of healing here, okay? So be patient with that. Move with integrity. Know that you are ready, you're prepared for this. So that whole like, this year is my year energy that we started this reading off with, yes it is. And it happened appropriately with the right delays, with the right connections, with the right resources, with the right timing. Now we just gotta really ground ourselves in it. Remember, this is still the human experience. So have patience with yourself. Do the emotional thing once in a while as required. Again, it's going to be very somatic. So if you want something, someone, some resources, some advice, you're open to check out knmwitchery.com, because I would be happy to at least have a free consult with you if you're interested in my intuitive therapy. I am certified and trained in hypnotherapy as well as NLP. So let's get to work, baby. Let's work on that mindset. Let's change your reality, because you can. You've already done it before. Now it's about to just be blessed and overflowing for you. I'm excited. Wishing you the most this year. Use your discernment. Pile 3, thank you so much for tuning in. If, of course, you are still here, check out Pile 2. If your intuition is pulling you there, and if I don't see you in another pile, I sure hope to see you in another video. So please subscribe, join the Soul Fam tribe, and I'll catch you later. Peace. Hello, what's up, what it do, baby? Pile 4. Let's dive into it, your 2026 forecast. Now, this reading is powered by spirit and your intuition. So remember, only take what is for you. Leave the rest for another soul fam. If you want something precise and concise just for you, check out knmwitchery.com. It's the only place you could ever book with me. And in January 2026, you can get some savings to start the new year off right with the code NEW26. Use it on any of my psychic services and readings. And yeah, like I said, get some savings. Okay, let's dive on in. Pile 4, last but absolutely never least. This right here is a general type of a message for you to learn whether or not this is the right pile for you. And you'll know. So just trust your powerful intuition. Okay? Let's dive right on in. Oof. Okay. We're starting off really strong here with crescendo. Hopefully YouTube is going to be all right with these imageries, because I did not cover this deck. We have the 6, of coins, the Knight of Cups. Ooh, we have Victor. I just heard Victoria. So your name could be Victor, Victoria, Vicky, Vic, etc. Interesting. For the 7 of Swords, ooh, we have the 3 of Swords in reverse. And, oh, I remember now, y'all got a bonus card, Continuum. Any and all decks that I am using are always listed down below in my videos. Remember to please like, subscribe, and all of that YouTube-y jazz. Let's channel through. I'm getting pulled to Crescendo as well as the 6 of coins. Notice the pause as well. You could be coming from POW 3. Hi, what's up? Crescendo is judgment. And a lot of today's energy for you, not only today's, I mean for the next year, 2026, there's an awakening, a liberation, an ascension. And it's through a lot of resilience and success that it is going to be gifted to you. The thing is, what's really beautiful is you're walking into 2026 to receive. Now, you will have to, of course, proceed with action, right? We got to make sure that we're always doing the things that we need to do in order to propel forward. And yet, this lifetime owes you a lot. You can resonate with being an Aquarius and or Leo South and or North Node. So your North Node could be in Aquarius or Leo, and vice versa with the South Node. Something here about you acquiring what is your destiny. But that could only have come through after you essentially, for lack of better terminology here, you had to kill yourself off many times. Your identity, you had to change who you were time and time again. All masks are off. And so judgment comes in here. That 6 of coins for you to rewrite the present, shaping into your future, but using the stories of your past. You kind of get a fresh, clean slate moving into 2026 is what I'm picking up here. Now, Continuum is your bonus card, okay? That's the Wheel of Fortune. You're breaking cycles. You have been diligently. I'm speaking to those more likely whom have been on a spiritual and or self-knowledge journey for quite some time. You're quote unquote awake. You know yourself. You know your traumas, you understand. You're willing to use it to pay it forward. And in doing so, you're also open and ready to receive because you've also done enough of that expansion work in order for you to decondition a lot of limiting beliefs for you to be able to obtain. The 3 of Swords in reverse here. I love that. I really do. I don't typically read a lot of reversals because most of my decks don't actually, I don't really keep a lot of reversals. So when they come out naturally. And you're going to be continuously so. Oops. Yeah, okay. So using everything as a metaphor, when I channel through, you're going to get your world kind of rocked up and shaken up a little bit more, okay? There's probably going to be another ego death or two, maybe even three. But it's in order for you to come out victorious. Victor, by the way, this is the Emperor. Success is the name of the game. This is going to be a year, especially if you are approaching this spiritually led, as I'm picking up a lot of y'all are. If not, work with me here, and we're going to move on. But there's this submission and allegiance to spirit. You have accepted your purpose, and you're willing to show up to do the work for it. That's why that initial message of you being sure that you stay diligent enough to show up and do that work, like taking action towards it. Change requires movement. You got to be the shift that this world needs. You are the shift, after all, right? So act accordingly. Because you're also here to rock the world and get other people's reality kind of shaken up in a good way. Something that I've come to learn in 2025 is that I am here to trigger people, but not in a sense that lacks accountability and guidance, right? I hold people's hand through their transformation that comes to light quite frequently and abruptly in a lot of my sessions, right? There's things that come up that invite quite an emotional reaction in my clients, and I'm there to hold their hand through it, to process, release, renew, revitalize, to liberate themselves. So by the way, if you're ever interested in booking my intuitive therapy, check me out at canonwitchery.com. But see, the Emperor embodies all kings in tarot. King of Swords of intellect, coins of the physical body, and of course of wealth. We have wands, that's spirit, passion, leadership, drive, energy. And then there's cups, heart. And people, do people underestimate empathy? Oftentimes people view empathy as a weakness. You have, or if not already, will in 2026, learn that there is a strength to empathy when you learn how to use it appropriately. And by that, I mean observing over absorbing. To be empathic, to understand perceptions outside of your own, enough to even be able to psychologically convince yourself you're embodying them, that's an intellect that is out of this world. Empathy is a strength, it is a power. It's more logical than you think, especially when you're grounded enough in yourself to be able to observe versus actually trick yourself into feeling everything and then lose control over your body and of the experience, creating your own stories, right? Like there's one thing to be able to mirror it and understand how people are feeling their shadows and present it to them without actually needing to embody them yourself. You can mirror it instead. 11:11 on the timer. I like that for y'all. I think a lot of y'all here, pile 4, enough people have dropped off for me to bring awareness to the leaders in the room. What's up, y'all? Welcome. It's a role that I think that you guys have accepted a long time ago, but now are more willing in 2026 to adapt and put a lot of action towards. You found your method of expression. You're ready to solidify. Here's something that's interesting. Notice the Six of Swords in the back here, right? The Six of Swords in tarot talks about a change of perception. If swords in tarot are our intellect, wisdom, how we perceive, how we think, how we communicate. And the Six in tarot talks about moving away from one way of being to another, usually through a fog, trusting the unknown, that you will still find your way through this fog. Then there's that Ace of Swords, that one single sword that is cutting through a map, that cuts through the cycle. Notice how this is a circle. See that? The masks are now off. You found your voice. You have found yourself enough to step forward and help other people change their perception, to heal their heartache. Because notice that these are the Three of Swords. Always identified here, well, not always, but often interpreted with that heart. That's our emotional state, and yet it is still part of that mental body and experience of how it is that we choose to look at the experiences that hurt us. You're helping people heal in 2026. Should you, of course, be stepping into a position of leadership, which could also explain here that Six of Coins energy. There is a reimbursement for the work, for the knowledge. I think in many ways you're the judgment. You're becoming an authority in a way that maybe doesn't even change your title, but it expands your level of reach and impact and all. It's like you take on a greater responsibility. You're stepping into the role even more firmly. You know who you are and what you're here to do. I love that. That's very powerful. I hope that knowing, again, the message is coming through. You gotta action it. Don't get lost in the idea of it either, right? Because this is where the Seven of Swords gets tricky, right? The Seven of Swords in tarot is very sneaky energy. It is conniving. It is also, again, changing the perception. I perceived this as a more positive interpretation, an empowering one of spiritual leadership of some form or fashion. Even if it's not, you know, a spiritual whatever that you're putting out there, but it's led through your passions, right? Your own purpose, whatever purpose that may be. Be careful. No tricks. But use this opportunity wisely to inspire others. And you can only do that if you action. Because I gotta call a spade out here. There is this resistance towards your becoming that you don't really show too much, because I believe Here, Pile 4, you are incredibly confident, or so you show others, and yet there is a reluctance. There's a form of self-sabotage. You've worked through that enough. Don't convince yourself that there's more healing, more educating, more anything. Step into the role that you are here to pursue, Pile 4. Okay? As you do that, the rest is going to show itself to you. And maybe that will be you educating yourself and healing more. But you don't gotta start digging where you don't require it. Like, remember all of the healing that you've done, all of this wisdom that you've acquired? It's for the purpose of actually living. You're not like a work in progress 24/7. Like, there's not always something to heal. What I'm saying is go live your life too. Okay? Pay it forward by following this passion to teach, to build, to create, to put something out there, to be a change. Because this is going to be a year, 2026, where you can do the impossible if and only if you get the heck out of your way. And the more you get out of your way, the more you're going to be reimbursed. But that reimbursement is going to require so much action. For every action, there will be a reimbursement. No reimbursement, because there is no action. So you better action. I don't know why Spirit keeps telling you to do something, but keep on actioning. Especially when we're talking about the Emperor, right? I mean, the Emperor is constantly working. Come on. It's a very masculine-based energy. It is depicted here by a woman, but like still. Okay, we're going to probably get really random. Yeah. Let's see what miscellaneous things are going to come through for you in this reading for 2026. Take only what resonates for you. Leave the rest for another. Whoa. It's kind of hard to shuffle this. Yeah. I compiled 2 different decks together, as you can see. So, yeah. Remember, this is spiritually led. If you want something precise and concise just for you, knwitchery.com. Is that fears? Afraid? What? Oh, no. It's what I was talking about already, wasn't it? Breakup endings forever. What's happening? Okay, we got paradise. Hold on. We got some good stuff. What was this earlier? Okay, we got twin flames. Good God. We got travel. New experiences. Okay, well, you can resonate with twin flames. We have reconciliation, rebuild. What kind of, oh, this just took a twist. This is probably turning into a love reading. This can very well be, if you don't resonate with things like twin flames, just think about this as like a soulmate or someone that you consider a soulmate. I don't ever want to feed any sort of delusions, soul fam, and I mean that with so much love when I say that. So please just use your discernment, understand that, especially if you do resonate with things like twin flames, it's not that simple, okay? It does require a lot of embodiment work, so whatever fears it is that you do embody, okay, to show up and live out your purpose, are essentially the gap between you and union, whatever that means, okay? Because if this is truly a twin flame type of connection, then that means that 2 people must feel very whole within themselves in the both masculine and feminine yin yang that we all hold within ourselves, okay, biologically speaking. This is not woo-woo now when I speak about that. And so there's a lot of healing that's requiring to decondition limiting beliefs from ourselves, from our communities, from societies, from the world, from politics, from whatever it may be. Every twin flame is here to serve a particular type of purpose. In unity, of course, that purpose becomes amplified, and yet both must show up together, okay? So whatever fears it is that you have that hold you from showing up, Okay, and being that change, especially again, I mean, it makes sense if this is very spiritually led. For those of y'all who have been resonating with this reading so far and are looking for a more union-based type of reading, keep on listening in. I wish there was a different way that I could spin this, but I think that this is, I just cut the damn deck and love came out. I was hoping to swing this into a different type of connection, or reading rather. And yet, okay, so Pile 4, you were the one that got away. And or you were the one that, how am I wording this? You freed yourself. Now, that doesn't even have to mean from this connection, okay? It could be from like a third party or something, because I do have the other woman, this could be a man obviously, and I have third party here as well. There is a high chance that this freedom here is from you, and I heard a marriage. Maybe some of y'all got divorced recently. Maybe something that you feared for a long time around divorce happened. If not divorce, maybe you broke up with someone that you were in a connection with for a very long time. And that was a fear, right? No one really walked, I mean, unless you do, but no one really walks into a relationship hoping and waiting for it to end, right? We want it to be for as long as it needs to be, so long as it's healthy. And then sometimes those breakups occur, leaving us to confront our fears, our loneliness, maybe thoughts of other people coming on in, taking whoever it is that you once loved or continue to love. But you've surrendered and let go of the need to have somebody. Whoever it is that I'm speaking to right now, man, woman, whatever, you are good to be by yourself. And I mean that in a form of security. That could be something that is solidified in 2026. And that acceptance and that surety and stability within yourself is the thing that introduces someone whom is of an equal vibrational match to you within that healing, which is a really rare thing to come across if you have in fact done a lot of self-work, self-actualization, and all of that, right? I think this year might actually surprise you. But that introduction of a person, now this does say reconciliation, but it could just be a redo again. You get a clean slate. I don't know. Take this as it resonates, okay? But your idea of love now has the opportunity to really blossom and get rebuilt, get rewritten, if you will. And I think that's awesome and wonderful. But that introduction of someone that is a vibrational match will also invite your fears. Self-sabotage, etc., etc., etc. Right? So proceed very groundedly, okay? Now, there are some really beautiful opportunities here to travel. Obviously, we have mountain and sea imagery here. Lots of sea, actually. So it could be lots of water. Lakes, I just heard a cottage. I'm hearing a boat, like a boat hitting a dock. For whoever that applies. It's it's very interesting because this year for you, Power 4, is full of so much potential, but that's just it. It's potential. It's what we're willing to do with that potential that then allows us to create our reality in real time. But just thinking about it, fantasizing about it, ruminating about it, making promises and like talking about it, telling everyone about it. And it could be anything. But then not doing anything about it. It's like, are you a man or woman of your word? Do you stay committed? Do you do what you say you're gonna do? That's what's going to be a big lesson for you. Because now it's about truly becoming and stepping into that. Letting the past go and accepting this new cycle. 2026 is a brand new cycle. A new 9 to 10 year cycle. And we are in both a 1 and a 10 year, depending how it is that you wish to read it numerologically. And by that I mean 2026 numerologically adds up to the number 10, which then breaks down to the number 1. But that 0 is very important because it talks about that completion, about cycles, the ascension, spirit. So before you drop that 0, we got to invite spirit in this. We got to find a balance within ourselves. And in doing that, we make sure that what we're letting go of is simultaneously bringing in who and what we want that actually matches the work that we've done. And we solidify the work that we've done by remaining consistent with it. Because with that consistency and that requirement of consistency will come challenges, will come interruptions, will come competitions, will come interference. Now, if we're going to talk about this in a form of love, then yeah, that could be a literal person. And if we are going to talk about twin flames, I mean, that is arguably like the most challenging type of relationship. It's the most gratifying as well. But it requires a lot of unconditional love. And unconditional love is not the lack of boundaries and having people treat you however it is just because love. No. That is incredibly toxic. No. That's where this whole phenomenon of twin flames got skewed a long time ago. People use it in very, very harmful ways. But the way that I view it, it's the deconditioning of limiting beliefs that actually kept us away from being able to experience love truly, fairly, to be able to give and receive it. It's unconditioning ourselves from everything that refrains us from, again, experiencing true love on earth. And twin flames are here to unravel those fears and transmute them into love. That's changing the world as we know it. And when two people have done enough of that work on themselves, because it never really ends, and, you know, it will continue to amplify, especially in union. But alas, that is where the conversation is going. It builds paradise on earth, you know. I will say that I'm glad that the fad of twin flames has died down. I used to actually have a twin flame channel, which is now transformed into something else that's coming out in 2026. So y'all are just gonna have to sit tight. But to get to my point here, I stopped it because I didn't like people's perception of it. It fed a lot of toxicity. right? Which I'm not going to go down a rabbit hole of because I'm pretty sure y'all already know what it is that I'm talking about, especially if you're still here. So I'm glad that the fad died down, but it doesn't change my personal perception and belief that the real twin flames are standing up, right? Now, twin flames don't also ever immediately mean that there is going to be some sort of relationship with another person. We're never entitled to another person. I don't give a shit what you want to call yourselves or each other. If you deem yourselves twin flames, beautiful. You are not entitled to each other. You're not guaranteed to this person's autonomy. They don't belong to you. You don't belong to them. It is unconditional love. It's deconditioning ourselves from that type of thinking, from wounds of abandonment and neglect and all of that. We show up because we care, because we love ourselves and we love that other person. But as soon as boundaries get crossed and there is some pain, some hurt, a lot of projections and things that become very toxic, we pull away because we love ourselves enough to decondition ourselves from being able to accept that type of behavior. And that goes beyond just twin flames. That goes for anyone and anything, all of that, okay? True twin flame people doing that inner work express that unconditional love and those boundaries with anyone and everyone, okay? Especially each other. And that's where it becomes a challenge and yet freeing. And full circle to that freedom. With or without another person. This is a year that you're going to be good. Solo or union. Probably a healthy combination of both. There's this like healthy detachment that has a potential to be experienced. So when the devil comes on in, whispering, trying to create falsehood, fears, choose that self-love. Because for the most part, you are going to experience a lot of happiness. What's to say here? Happiness and joy, playfulness, enjoying each other, honeymoon phase. That's love. I love that. Love, what? Just be able to use your discernment throughout. Okay. Let's pull some tarot here to get some final messages here for the Soul Fam, pile 4. How has this resonated with you so far? Let me know. The King of Wands on the table. Let me know in the comments down below. Please like, subscribe if you get pulled to any other piles. I hope to see you there. If not, any other video. But we ain't through just yet. So stay tuned these next few. Oi, oi, oi. Alright, so we have the Strength card with the 8 of Coins as well. How am I going to do this properly? We're gonna, yeah. Okay. You know what, you could just go away. Who cares? Off. Away. Okay. Ain't no distractions here. Pish posh. Applesauce. What does that mean? Okay. Okay. It's very interesting because I'm getting told to clear all of this out. So that's cool. King of Wands with the Hierophant energy. Look, it's really important for you to be pursuing your goals and your dreams this year. Okay. Twin flames, love, that's all beautiful. Okay. That person can and will continue to love you if you stay true to who it is that you are, if you act out of integrity, if you show up and you do the things that you set out to do, okay? The King of Wands, very action-oriented, very much leadership, okay? There will be a stubbornness for you to pursue more, okay? Now, this could also be a reverse type of an issue. You might expect so much of yourself that nothing's actually going to be good enough. You're going to want to keep on doing the healing thing, keep on doing the learning thing or whatever before you can actually start pursuing your dreams and your goals. However it is that you convince yourself, stop sabotaging and just move forward into that role of a leader. However it is that that resonates for you, soul fam. Because you are going to take on more of a Page of Swords energy. You're going to have to learn to kind of find your voice in doing something outside of your comfort zone. That doesn't change the fact that you are ready and prepared for all of this. You've experienced everything that you needed to experience. You've acquired enough of the spiritual and literal accolades and whatever it is that you require, okay, to be able to step into this role. You already have it. Stop doubting yourself. Okay? Do the work. And in doing the work, you are going to learn and grow and continue from there. There are so many things that require experience that a book, for example, can't teach you. Like, you can't go to school to become a surgeon and only learn from flipping pages. You gotta slice a body open, okay? You gotta get in there. You would never trust the surgeon that only learned and became a doctor through the book without ever doing what they're here to do, and that's cut somebody open and do something in there. Repair something, take it out, swap it out, whatever they're doing. Okay? So how is it that you're not out there doing, getting your hands dirty? And I understand that there comes, you know, reasons and causes for you not to do it, because what if you do something wrong? But there are times like 2026 for you and in your becoming and taking on this role where you're allowed to make more mistakes. You're actually divinely led to do exactly that. Remember, we had the Judgment card come out with the Wheel of Fortune and the Emperor. You're now divinely guided to build. Either way, you're going to accomplish more than you set out to accomplish. And it has to require you to show up. We got 2 8s here. Okay, what goes around comes right back around. That's also in a way signified here with that 6, right? What goes around comes right back around. We got the 3 and the 3. We got a nice little even divide, as above, so below. So ground yourself into who it is that you're becoming. Through the action, show up. Do it scared if you must. Y'all, I appear so comfortable and stuff on camera. I used to like cry in my room alone with nothing but me and my phone pointed at me, pressing play. I cried. I was so terrified of being perceived for my authenticity and who I am. A psychic medium. That sounds deranged. Or so I've been taught to believe, and I learned how to love myself, how to show up. I did the Page of Swords thing. Now it's your turn. And however it is that that applies to you. I just gave my own little personal example here, right? First thing that came to mind. So do that work and understand that everything that you put out is going to come right back. And especially if that means that you're also going to get a really beautiful love story out of this, then that's great. But remember, if this is truly something to do with twin flames, then more of that attention has to do with you and what you're here to do and you fulfilling your purpose. Because we underestimate what it means to be a soul of a divine nature And it doesn't all of a sudden mean that you are God and you should become an egotistical maniac because whatever, whatever. No. Your spirit, your soul is powerful. That realization and grounding in the human experience and using this quantum knowledge of your existence, where no one in the entire universe exists just like you. You're a walking miracle. You gain that awareness while having a really good heart, putting that out into the world. Holy shit, that changes everything. But nothing changes unless you show up and you take on that role. The Hierophant here is depicted by the number 5. That's that change. It's okay to not exactly know, but you're still prepared for it. You know enough. You're going from book smarts to street smarts. And in doing so, you will welcome someone that is also following their purpose, their passion, fighting their fears, showing up, working past their egos, making sure that they show up with integrity. And suddenly your paths meet. And you start, who knows what, really. I mean, the possibilities are endless. What are you doing with this potential energy? Action, pile 4. Action, and the world is yours. Woo, I heard my snap. Powerful, powerful, powerful pile 4s. Drop a crown down below if you are ready to push forward, okay? To accept your role, to accept your purpose, and to ground true love, change, peace on earth. Hell yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited. Let me know if and how this resonated. Pile 4, thank you so much. Happy New Year's to you. All the blessings to you. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. If I don't see you another pile, I do hope to see you in another video, so be sure to subscribe, all right? Love you guys so much. All power to you. I'm so excited to hopefully be a witness of your power, your magnitude, and what you're putting out there. Please feel free to share it down in the comments below, okay? We all support each other here. It is 44:44 on the timer when I said that. Yes, I love you guys. All right, I'm gonna stop talking now. Love you. Peace.